All right, guys. I'm here with a Hall of Fame. It hasn't started. No. I'm here with Hall of Fame, one of Finland's most famous bartenders. He's Hall of Fame in bartending, Mika Immonen. No, I'm joking. He's Hall of Fame in billiards, one of the best of all time. Probably one of the top three. Thanks, Mika, for being on the channel. You're going to show us how to mix a drink now.
Well, first of all, thanks for inviting me to do this interview, Krister. We've been friends for a long time, almost 20 years, and it's been a pleasure. So, but you know, long story short, we're here after the whole episode of like travel, meeting here and there over the world.
Yeah,
made a career out of pool, and you've been a remarkable entrepreneur in like side of sports and restaurant industry and all this stuff. So much respect.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it coming from you because you know how much I respect you and your career. I mean, you're one of the youngest guys inducted in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's true. I had the honor of being inducted in 2014. And it was it was actually a year after Jeanette Lee, and I wanted to touch that topic. Actually, it's kind of a little bit of a somber topic because Jeanette Lee has been they made a public announcement that she has been diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer. So she's in fighting mode right now, and she's been a fighter all her life, and really respect her so much for her career and other achievements in charity world and all that. But I wanted to just put the word out there and hoping send her good vibes and prayers or whatever you do to
give her all the best, right?
She's been tremendous. She's had a tremendous impact on the sport of billiards in her career, and she's still we wish her all the best, basically, right?
Yeah, that's we can only hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Yeah, she was always very supportive. We've been good friends all of our the bulk of our careers, and I've known her 26 years, so it's a long time, and she's been always very good and supportive and very professional. But aside from that, like you said, you mentioned the bartending. I'm in the kitchen now. Hopefully the dishwasher doesn't make too much noise. But I've noticed there's a few guys that I've seen post on social media about like, hey, I'm having a cocktail and it's one of their favorites, and my favorite, and it's it's an Italian aperitivo or aperitif, however you want to say it. And it's called Negroni, and it consists of 3 ingredients, 3 sorts of alcohol. One of them is obviously gin. The classic Negroni is gin base, and it's to your whatever your liking is on the gin front, but it should be dry in my opinion because the other 2 drinks can be kind of sweet and bittersweet. So then the second one is Campari, and obviously that's the bitter part, has a little sweetness to it. And then there's sweet vermouth. So I really like this one, the Antica Formula. It's much better than like the Martini Rossi or Martini Rosso, whatever they call it. But these 3 ingredients are the main thing, and it has to be equal parts. So normally if I was doing it, if I had a mixing glass, I would do it in a mixing glass, but I can cheat a little bit. But I'll put ice in a glass. Let's say 3 ice cubes in that small little glass. And I'll start with the sweet vermouth.
You even have a measurement.
Bigger. And so I'm going to put 1.
It's one bigger, yeah.
Sweet vermouth, by the way, belongs in the fridge. It doesn't have enough alcohol to preserve it, so you must put it in the fridge after you open it.
There won't be much left when you've been finishing it with it.
All the little details are, important, so you must know that. Otherwise, your alcohol goes bad if it doesn't have enough.
That's the Campari.
That's the Campari. And here comes the gin. And this is the Tanqueray gin. It's not like, nothing.
I like it. I don't mind. I love a good gin and tonic as well. So
I like it in this particular drink. So ever since the pandemic, I started, dabbling with mixology, and I started kind of like watching some channels and stuff, whatever was available. So now the complete drink is in the glass, but I want to mix it, stir it. You don't shake it.
you stir it.
Anything that doesn't have
Not shaken, but stirred.
Yeah, it's important that you stir it because it doesn't need shaking. It has too much alcohol. If you shake it, it gets a little bit slushy. So now you're just trying to cool down a drink. Ideally, you do like, 30, 35 revolutions. That's enough this time. And since, I'm just going to strain it. And actually, I need some more ice, actually. I want to strain it over fresh ice.
Fresh ice, yeah.
So now the drink part has cooled down. And you can strain it over fresh ice. I'll say 2 ice cubes is enough. And I'm cheating a little bit because it's not the regular strainer. I don't have a regular mixing glass. I'm making do whatever I have. So there you go. It's over fresh ice now. And then comes the last part. I have some nice fresh orange from the fridge. I've cut a few peels off already, but I'm going to make another little slice. And a nice little solid, about 1 inch or less. And you just take the peel. You don't want to dig too deep. And see how that's nice. And now you actually take like a nice grip with like the thumbs and the index finger. And then you put pressure, and all the oils from the orange go into the drink. And then you could roll it up a little bit and then rub it on the side of the glass. And then you drop it kind of in the side like that. And it still shows.
Beautiful.
That's a Negroni. Cheers.
Beautiful. I actually, because I know we were going to talk today, I went to buy some beers.
Really?
So my viewers, I'm also going to have one. I'm going to open it up. I was watching the UFC this morning.
Cheers, Chris.
I had to have one with Mika. Cheers. Mika's a good bartender. I didn't know that, but he's one hell of a pool player.
It's kind of a nightcap. Even though they say it's an aperitivo, you can have it any time of the day, I think.
Yeah. What time is it now in LA? It's about 12 o'clock, isn't it?
It's midnight.
Midnight, yeah.
So
you deserve one.
Yeah, I deserve. It's been a long day. But
in your career, I have a question to you. I know we talk a lot. You've been to my house. I've been to New York. We've been to Sweden. We've been all over the place. We play billiards together in Bangkok. But of all your career wins, can you please tell me tell my viewers which win was the biggest in your career in your mind? I mean, you won everything there is to win.
Well, not quite, but nearly.
Nearly.
It's a good question. People do tend to ask it, but I do with like absolute certainty. Is like you can't duplicate the feeling of the first world championship.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if it can be compared to having your first baby, but like it's the first one is like mind blowing, and it was such a privilege to be in that, in that position, and I worked hard to get there, but it's still, when you do get there, you're like just overwhelmed.
Yeah, but you also won the World Cup of Pool, the team play in the Philippines one time. I watched it on TV. I wasn't there live, unfortunately, but I watched it on TV. I called you up after the game.
Yeah,
it must have been a good feeling to win it in the Philippines.
It was really remarkable, because obviously Philippines has been for a long time, 2 decades, maybe 2 decades and a half, known as like the Mecca for pool, and people come here to get tested, or they come there just to get tested in the field and in the money games and all this stuff, and to be able to win on like legends like Efren and Bustamante on their home turf is
Must
quite.
have been a good feeling. Yeah. I remember you told me one time a few years back. You said, "I know how competitive you are on the pool table. I can't even me. We're good friends. I can't talk to you when you walk up to the pool table. You're an asshole because your competitiveness comes up." But you said one time, there is an honor to lose against Efren Reyes.
It's never fun, but it's like, if you're if it's a real battle of two different minds, and he's a remarkable talent, and he might be one of the greatest of all time, and just to have the opportunity to battle with him and to be able to win, it's just like, wow.
Mind-blowing, right? Yeah.
I grew up watching him and trying to like learn from him and aspire to be able to be on the called his peer.
Yeah. And I mean, you had a span of, I think, 2 years where you were basically unbeatable. When you were like 39, 40, 41, just before you were inducted in the Hall of Fame. And nobody could beat you at that time.
Yeah.
Did you put a lot of effort into it, or was it just you had a lucky break?
It definitely was not a lucky break, but the whole streak may have taken a few lucky breaks here and there, but it's also like, I feel like sometimes you make your own luck, and you just work so hard that things that were unlikely or like remotely possible, maybe you thought about it, and but then they were kind of happening around me, and the tournaments that I dreamed of winning were not falling into my lap, but I just like went through like very hard work, hardcore physical work, and also like playing so much, and I don't know, just trying to get into the right mindset, and I did so many things right, I suppose, and then it started falling into place. So
we had a gold
in
Sweden, an ice hockey player, and he always said, the harder I practice, the more lucky I get.
Yeah, I've heard that before, and it's totally true, because at some point you just start believing in it, even if it's total luck, and believing, maybe having a split second of something, and then next thing you know, it happens, and you start believing kind of at some point that it's destined. You're destined to do that.
Yeah, but always also you I know how many hours you put in on the practice table. You actually go to work every day, and you practice for 8 hours. I go to the office for 8 hours. So it's basically the same thing, right? I mean, people don't believe how hard you practice.
It's true, and it takes a lot of like not only practice, but then being in constant competition and putting yourself at the edge of the fine edge of the competition, where you get tested all the time, and if you're not in that mode, that fight or flight mode, you're not going to get very far. So you just have to, like, of course, take breaks, maybe like in the summer you take a couple of weeks off, but like in the prime season you got to be like dead on.
It's hard work, right?
Totally. It's hard work, but I also feel very blessed that I can make a living out of something that has been pure joy and passion.
But if I know you remember every game you've played, but in your opinion, which is the best game you've ever played? Hard question. You played a lot of good games.
That's
I know that.
Question, and if I was only superficial, I would say I'll play any game that makes money. But
yeah, I buy that one.
But there's more to it than that, because I enjoy playing straight ball for, it's more like philosophical reasons, and but then 9-ball is such a dynamic, fast game. It's very offense. Like, you have to play full on sometimes offense, and but it's also creative. It's a very creative game, because you're allowed to do two-way shots. You don't have to call that one specific pocket, but you can go for like they'll be wiped.
You can gamble a bit more.
You can gamble a little bit, but it's calculated risk.
It's very calculated. I love 9-ball. 9-ball has always been my favorite. And actually, the best game I've seen you play is the one you lost against me in Bangkok.
Wow.
I know you gave it to me, but I'm just joking. So, when do you think the tour will start again and it will come back to normal? Do you have any idea? What's the rumor on the circuit?
I really don't know. And as far as the circuit, it says nothing is super reliable right now because the regulations between countries can change any minute. And it just takes a little bit of I would say it takes a little bit of a team effort now that, just to try to cut down these pockets of some kind of resistance, whatever it is that's happening, we need to get it under control and stay put for a while until, it's all good everywhere. Because if you leave little fires burning, maybe they could start getting into bigger fires.
Yeah, that's true. So I remember you and I were in New York and Amsterdam, and they were closed for like 9 months. They just reopened again.
They just reopened, thank God. And I know it's been a hard, long road, and there was some weird regulations in New York that kept bowling alleys open the whole time, but not pool rooms. So what's the difference?
What's the difference? Yeah,
feels a little bit like discrimination.
Yeah, it's actually easier to keep distance in pool than it is in bowling, in my opinion.
Yes.
And you have to touch the ball, which is going through a machine.
Thing for everybody, and I don't know. There's like It's a different atmosphere, but I think in pool, like let's say one-on-one, it's totally much easier to stay socially distant. I think.
Yeah. No, like I also know Efren played a couple of games when Esteban was still here. They played it on Facebook. They couldn't even have people in their own house.
Is Esteban known as just Esteban now? Like
he's not here anymore. I don't know where he is at the moment. They said he's in the US, but I don't know.
In other words, for the audience that don't know who he is, but he's a character. He's a friend.
He's a nice guy.
Super nice guy.
Anyway, I hope to see you here in the Philippines soon, and I wish the Matchroom would bring up pool again, so we could have the World Championship here in the Philippines, like we used to have. It was so much fun.
Let me say one thing about Esteban. He's very unorthodox style, but he gets the job done.
Yeah.
But yeah, true. I would love for Matchroom to get a hold of like the World Championship title. As an organizer, they did a tremendous job back in the day when I won my first one in Cardiff, 2001, and they've been on the World Championship hiatus for a while, and then there were talks about them running an event, but before COVID hit, and that's when so many good events got already canceled for us, and now I don't know. We're just praying for things to start back up, but I'm also not holding my breath.
Yeah, Matchroom now with Eddie, he's doing a good job in boxing, but I wish he could do the same thing for the pool.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I think it's in the back garden he's doing the boxing.
I think Barry Hearn definitely had a little bit more passion for pool. I'm not sure if Ed is on the same page.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's true. Ed is more boxing. Barry was more pool, but maybe it's coming back. I'll send Eddie a text and tell him to put the pool tournament in his back garden.
That would be wonderful, with all like good intentions and But Matchroom has always done a great job, and they've been a pivotal factor. Me being successful in my career and being promoted in that professional light has been extremely helpful, and their production values are amazing.
Sometimes that I show my trainers in the gym, when you train in the gym, I say go into Google and search on your name, and they need a bigger screen because of everything that you won.
Yeah.
You got to scroll down, and that's quite amazing. That's why I want the pool to come back, because nobody's getting younger.
It makes me feel a little bit old.
Well, you're still a spring chicken compared to me. When it opens up again, what is your goal? You want to put everything in and try to win world championships, or just want to earn a living?
I actually wouldn't mind playing more championships, but I'm not gonna have that sort of as the first priority right now until it gets really much better. Because in the current state, it's like really not much income, not much, it's just not very professional. And so with the uncertainty of COVID and everything, I mean, it's going to take a while for those industry to get their wheels back. So I'm actually been concentrating more on teaching lately.
Rodney Morris said the same thing. He's concentrating on teaching.
Yeah, it's actually been an amazing journey, especially during this COVID, because it's been the only source of like income for me, basically. And but I've learned to like love it in a different way, and I've noticed that it's improved my game. It's just like you can become a champion at one game, but if you want to master it, I think you have to teach it. So I've been teaching for a long time now, but only this year I felt like I stepped up a level.
Yeah, but I was talking to Rodney about it. I don't know if you saw the program, but I said when I was in Amsterdam waiting for you, you were teaching somebody. Then you came over, and I said, you played the game, the last thing you did with him, and a completely different class. And then you said, well, this guy came 16th in the US Open, and you sort of demolished him. I'm like, shit, 16th in the US Open. It was a completely different level. I mean, I was a 3-star. You were a 5-star.
It's happened. I mean, especially that's my home room, and if you get me on my home table when the table's been broken in a little while, and I've been practicing on it for a month, it's like you just put the thing on cruise control and just run the table.
Yeah. And that's also what people don't understand in billiards. It depends on the pockets, on the cloth, on the humidity of the room. There's so many things that you guys have to adjust to in different tournaments because you're playing on a different level.
You have to be very, you have to adapt to different conditions, and conditions can change even within a match. If you're in somewhere, some pool room, and it starts raining outside within the hour, and if the crowd comes in, the air gets a little bit more congested. Hello. Say, how are you?
Erica's downstairs, I think, as well. Is Erica still here?
No, she's outside.
I'll tell her to come in and say hi to Mika.
Yeah.
Erica's here as well.
Cool. So yeah, sometimes
I'll ask Rowena to ask her to come up.
No, she's
outside. She left. Okay. Sorry, she's outside the village. Her kids are here.
Cheers. Again.
I only have 2, so I got to be a little bit slow.
I'm conservative too. This is a total sipper. Like, you don't chug it. You just take little sips, and it's very potent.
It's nice.
What talking about? When you're in
anyway. Yeah, but you grew up or actually you're born in London, right? You're not born in Finland.
True. Coincidentally, my parents, even though they were both very Finnish, they had some international background, and they actually met in Italy and eventually moved to London for my dad's work. He was actually a tailor, and so they lived there for a period, and I was born during that period. And then we, as a family, we moved to Manchester, and I was there for 6 years. So it wasn't until I was 7 years old I actually went permanently to Finland for a while. Notice the paradox.
Yeah.
But for the time being, I grew up there since 7 years old.
And you have a twin brother, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That's right. His name is Kari. We were obviously, very close, and he's been also an inspiration and a very good competitive player as well, and we had some fierce battles, and including a Finnish championship that I beat him. It was a straight ball championship, so that was kind of interesting for brothers to reach the final together.
How often do you get back to Finland now? I mean, now it's the corona, but normally, how often do you go back to Finland?
Normally, I would say once a year. Whether I prefer summer, but I used to go every Christmas as well. But I slowed down a little bit, like the last 10 years, I suppose. I try to go once a year.
Yeah. I know you go to Sweden a lot because you stay in my brother's place. We met in Sweden a couple of times as well. So.
I might have been to Sweden more than Finland.
Finland.
Last year.
I think my brother was in Finland last week.
Yeah, I think so. Did he take a cruise or something?
Yeah, took a cruise. Yeah, that's correct. Needed to refill something.
He likes cruising.
Well, it's the duty free that they like. It's not really the cruise.
That's just an excuse, man.
It's just an excuse. Yeah, you're right.
There's no point lugging all that stuff for like so little sake and just like get it in a liquor store. But the cruise can be fun, if you're in good company,
Couple of good friends, why not? But you started to play billiards or pool very late. You told me you were 14 or 15 when you started the game. You weren't like a 7-year-old kid.
No, I wasn't. I was 15, in fact, and but I guess I picked it up quick. We learned as kind of a group of kids, that hang out together and go around town, and this is before iPhones and any of pocket computers. So it was just a coincidence that one winter this pool room opened up in the neighborhood, and we were obviously very drawn to it because it was something new and exciting, and not even just for pool, but there was like pinball machines and
hang out, right?
Yeah, it was like a hangout, and you get to like play games and have fun and be competitive and still have a good time and not freeze your butt on the hockey court. So
yeah, that's true.
Which was fun too, but like there's a limit when you go like 7 days straight in like freezing cold into something, and it can get a little bit old. So
yeah, but I've seen pictures with you and some of my idols with Timo.
That's right.
What's his name? The rally, the Formula One driver.
Kimi Räikkönen. Kimi Räikkönen.
So
Yeah, I
had a few ups and downs, and I know you when you were in General Santos with Manny Pacquiao, you played against him a lot of times. Yeah. It must be a fantastic feeling to have met these people, learn to know them, to be together with them.
Yeah, it's been an honor to hang out with players like Teemu Selänne and the Formula One driver Kimi and all those guys. I mean, just watching them do their thing for a while when they're training is just incredible. Including Manny Pacquiao. Remember, I went to Cebu 2006. And he had a training gym there at the time, and I happened to know somebody that was, part of the owner of the Sansar newspaper, and Gahum. I don't know if you met him. Big guy, cool dude. He took me to his training camp, and we watched him actually like train all day, like just.
It's a machine.
He did like he starts with like 10K in the morning, like maybe more, and he runs it like a sprinter, and he comes to the gym, he does like shadow boxing for a while, then he jumps ropes, then he fights, he goes in the ring and he fights 12 straight rounds, but he swaps between 3 rounds he does 3 rounds, and then the first guy comes in and he's like, come on
let's go. Let's go.
Like does his
but it's like I always hated it when Timo Selänne came up, because I've seen a lot of ice hockey over my years, but I have never seen a skater like Timo Selänne. And I know I told you there's one guy I want to meet because he could go from 0 to 100 in 1 second, faster than Kimmo Räikkönen.
Maybe faster than the Ferrari, right?
Exactly.
It's
amazing.
When he takes
I watched him live, but I've never met him, as you had the pleasure to do. But
Teemu is an incredible person. He's just an incredible human being, and always very positive and very giving. He's just he volunteers his time when he has the time, and he reaches out to people that need to be reached out. And but he's an incredible competitor and a super talent, and like you said, unbelievably fast. Yeah. I think he still has the NHL rookie amount.
He scored 76 goals.
76 in one season. That's it's record. So it's just
we haven't had Swedish who's shot over 50, and then we have Mats Sundin and Peter Forsberg. But he was unbelievable, and
I actually met
an honor to watch him live.
I actually met Peter one time in Denver, Colorado, and I said I knew we had a mutual friend, so I was like able to like kind of knock him on the shoulder and from behind. I was like, "Can I swear here on this medium?"
Yeah, you can.
Okay,
on this channel, you can.
Hey Peter, du jävla svensk svin.
You were 5-1 up, and we won 6-5.
He turned around and like, what the hell is this? I'm like, hey, don't worry, I'm from Finland. I respect your talent. I don't like what you did to us in the Olympics.
Yeah.
But then he had a big laugh, and then we had a beer together, and we had a little chat.
Nice. That's one thing I like with all you guys. I mean, you're part of them, but all the big sports stars are very nice. I met a lot, but I have never met somebody who's not humble, easy to deal with. I mean, when you come to the Philippines, you come to my office, and we sit and have a coffee, or we talk bullshit in the morning.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, you're a superstar. And the rest of the Filipinos, the Americans, we had a beer with Shane one time in Parañaque. I think you have to be humble to be a superstar, in my opinion.
Well, that's true. I think because the moment you get like arrogant, you're not going to do very well.
Yeah.
It takes confidence and humility to do well in the sport, but also a lot of hard work. And but it doesn't, in my opinion, there's a few people who get away with being an asshole, but I think in the long run, it's going to come.
Yeah, I know a few you're pointing at, but but I mean, as I said to Rodney when we were doing the video the other day, I was in the airport 5 o'clock in the morning. We were waiting for Ish. Of course, she was late, as always. There's 500 people in the airport, and everybody wants a picture of Efren, of course, and autographs. And I said to Efren, we're missing the flight. He said, but they still want pictures. He would rather miss the flight than missing the opportunity to be with his fans. He said, these are the people paying my salary.
Listen, I'm sure there was a time when if Efren was late off the flight and he was the last guy, they would wait for him.
The flight would wait, for sure.
The captain would not take off. But Efren's coming to the plane. We're not taking off right now because I know he has been admired and loved and just worshipped in the Philippines, and rightfully so. But like, he's just, if you don't know it, if you haven't seen it, you don't know the magnitude of his persona and his popularity in the Philippines.
Yeah, no, he's a different breed, and the thing is, sometimes being with him, I mean, he's been in my house how many times? Last Manny Pacquiao fight, he watched it in my house, and you would think that it could be anybody. And here's a superstar who entertains millions of people and have been doing so for so many years. And
But I think it's not a coincidence because you are a super nice guy, and you're also, I feel like you're not only a great businessman, but you are a philanthropist as well, and you've done a lot of great things for pool, and Efren knows that, and you've also done things for Manny Pacquiao. You know, like you were there in the beginning of his career when he was.
That's true.
And that's
true.
I pay tribute to that.
Yeah, of course, it pays back, but at the same time, I'm very proud to have been with all these guys through the years. With yourself, I mean, I know every billiard player there is, and a lot of that is thanks to you. A lot of that is thanks to Bustamante, to Efren. And of course, it's easy for me to meet a billiard player because I know Efren, or I know you, or a boxer because I know Pacquiao. But
yeah, that's definitely foot in the door in certain industries.
Open doors, yeah, you're correct. But at the same time, the reception and the thankfulness I've gotten from all of you guys, it's been paid back multifold, in my opinion. Because, you know, when you're in the Philippines, the first one you look for is me.
I think I still got the better of it, though.
Well, we can talk about that over
in your
stänkare. But it's certain. I think also it's that you play a sport. Boxing is a sport where respect is worth a lot. I think like pool, boxing, MMA, if you don't show respect, you'll be kicked out quite soon, in my opinion. I mean, I watched the UFC this morning, and there was one fighter, he didn't want to show respect. And I told my son, I said, I hope the UFC will kick him out. Because in any sport, win or lose, show respect in the end of the game.
You do have to. It's like what happened to that one guy that when they started the brawl after the McGregor fight.
Yeah.
The guy with the funky hat. What I forgot his name.
It should ring a bell. Well, it will come.
Right. I mean, they're part of the team went in the ring or in the octagon and attacked McGregor after the fight. I mean, that's how disrespectful is that, and how stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, he ruined his own career in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, correct. And it's like if you lose a game, let's say you play race to 13, you lose 12-13, you lose on the hill. You still have to go and shake hands.
He jeopardized the whole institution.
Yeah, true.
Like,
very true.
People like that running around rampant, like making a mockery out of the sport. So, and he was just there. I want my belt. He took it like on the wrong level.
Yeah, and you know how it is in life. You've been playing the game since you said you were 15. You win sometimes, you lose sometimes. Live with it.
Absolutely. You just gotta you lose, but you don't lose the lesson.
No, you can hate it.
I mean,
I lose against my wife every day. I still have to live with her.
You're lucky to have her. You know, she's a wonderful lady. And I love all you guys, even her friends and your friends. I mean, you know, speaking of that, how's Jonathan doing?
He's in Puerto Galera right now, actually.
So he's doing fine.
Yeah, he's doing okay. He's there with 9 guys, I think. No ladies allowed. So I think they're doing very fine. No questions asked.
They must be drinking a lot then.
I'm sure. You can imagine 9 English guys on an island.
Well, that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
That's a fitness test.
Yeah, I don't know how long they're going to be there, but I saw a picture last night at dinner together. So there's a nice bunch of guys. I was supposed to go with them, but I had to do some things with my daughter because of all these online schools. And then my son, he has now started tutoring in math, and he started golf. So I have to bring him to the golf club.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah, but he loves the sport, so I'm happy.
Hey, that's amazing. If you have
You know,
something
any sport.
passionate, and it's
Yeah.
a sport. It's clean. It's good, like good prospects and good. You get plenty of outdoors, and it's competitive. It's very well organized. I applaud that.
Yeah, I played 13 holes with him yesterday. I was going to take his money, and they worked out fine the first 3 holes. Then I screwed up.
Did you take yours?
Yeah, he took mine, but he's a beginner,
Wow.
and he knows how much work it takes. And I actually use you as an example. I used to tell him, look at Mika. Mika spends 8 hours a day on the pool table. If you want to be good in golf, you got to spend 8 hours a day on the driving range.
That's true. If you want to get better, if you want to have a career and you're starting and you have passion for it, then let's show that passion. You know,
Yeah.
Show me why you got started, and show me why you want to win, right?
Yeah. And also yesterday, because we didn't have anyone after us, I was showing him what you teach me in Bangkok about the backswing and you were showing me something there when we used the special
timing.
cue stick. Yeah. I said, it's the same thing in putting. I said, I will actually bring Mika to the golf course to teach you how to putt. He said, but he's a billiard player. I said, well, yeah, but it's the same technique.
It's exactly the same technique.
You know what he did? He one-putted 6 greens in a row.
Wow.
That's why he took my money. Because he did what you taught me in Bangkok on the pool table.
That's
Chip
cool.
one putt. Chip one putt. I ain't going to teach you anything more because it's going to be expensive for me.
He should give me some commission for that.
Exactly. I'll tell him. He just left. I think he left. He stole my car.
You can tell him later.
I will. I for sure will. But it's true. We were on the first hole, and his putting has been bad because he didn't know.
He was trying to muscle it instead of just letting the putt go.
Yeah.
Just let the club go.
Like what you showed me in Bangkok when we were playing. I beat you after that.
Hey,
but he did exactly the same thing as you told me. Boom.
Listen,
he nailed every single
don't
thing.
be hard on yourself for being a good teacher or spreading the message.
Well, you teach me, I teach him. That's how the world goes around, right? We all improve as not only as players but also as human beings.
Yeah, it's paying forward. It's called paying forward. He's going to teach somebody that.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to play with his friends maybe tomorrow or the next day, and he will show them, look, this is what my papa said, that Mika said, and they will improve, and we all improve.
It's all physics,
Yeah. But I need to get one of those cue sticks.
Oh yes,
the black one.
Very powerful.
Have the range one for me.
The Mez with the Ignite shaft, it's like ridiculous. It's like driving a Ferrari.
That was driving a Ferrari.
It's sort of like that.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And with less effort, you can get the same thing done. So it's just like, wow, your technique can actually stay cleaner because you don't have to force anything. It's just.
Yeah. It was so easy to. Well, I'm not a good player, but it was so easy to control the cue ball.
Right. It's
with no effort.
Like high tech, it's very intuitive. So like even bozos like you can feel like they play good.
Exactly. That's why I beat you. Send me the link if you want, and I put it out there if somebody's interested in buying it. I mean, it was sensational. I felt the difference, and usually a beginner, I'm not a beginner, but average player don't feel a difference. But with that cue stick, I felt the difference.
Yeah, it's like it's a different kind of vibration, and the result itself is like, wait, I just did that with so little effort, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can power a ball in, and the cue ball does things that you don't expect it to, but you try to.
Yeah. Is that allowed on the tour, or if you play in a tournament?
Absolutely, it's allowed. I mean, the carbon fiber technology is still relatively new, but it's been around for a couple of years now, and there are like dozens of companies trying to do, the equivalent or better. But I'd say, like, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I know Mez is on the forefront of that competition in terms of like performance and price and integrity. So it's just really a very consistent product.
My first cue stick is actually, I was going to bring it out and show you. It's Messi, the first one I ever bought.
Mez,
yeah, sorry. It's on my shirt, isn't it?
Hey, let's check it out.
There.
Yeah, look at this shirt. Like
there you go. Advertising.
You're wearing one of our World Cup team shirts.
That's when you won the World Cup of World Cup of pool with what's his name, the Finnish guy, the little chubby one. Yeah, just it.
Yeah.
That was fun. You played with him for a couple of years, didn't you?
Yeah, we played for 4 or 5 years together, and it's just been a crazy journey. And to get to that point where we're actually playing the finals was like bizarre, but it was just it was so great. What a great experience for me and for him. But like, I got to be a little selfish in this aspect, or like more. It was a bigger experience for me because I've been going in and out of Philippines all this time, and it created like a sort of a legacy there. And for me to even like, do that with a teammate from Finland, it was like such an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
And I have some friends like yourself
with all the respect, that tournament, you were carrying the team all the way to the final, but he actually carried the final. It wasn't you carrying the final.
No doubt.
He carried you.
We carry each other, and that's what teamwork is. But we were able to, in the beginning of the tournament, kind of come into terms of certain things and how we're going to work together. But the advantage that we had was that we're both pretty same tempo, and then there was a moment where we kind of took our understanding of each other to another level, where there was just like unspoken language, and you just accepted whatever the guy was going to go for. And if you had a question, he would ask, but you never interfere.
Yeah, because in a team play, for people who don't understand it, your partner needs to put the white ball where you want to have it.
Exactly.
And that takes teamwork.
Like, there's communication, and if I say that I wanted to be there, and I know it's like fairly natural to get there, then that's my decision, and he's got to respect that. But it goes both ways, and we found great communication in the 2012 World Cup of Pool, and we played 3 of the existing previous champions, including Germany. It was like second round, I think.
Soke and Homan, wasn't it? Yeah.
And then we beat Filipinos in the quarterfinal. Bustamante and Afren, which was like epic, and the whole moment was like
in the Philippines.
It was just people were hanging off the stairs and rafters. And
I remember that.
Climbing on the door window sills, and like they were running up and down the escalator just to see the match.
Yeah.
And then we won against them, and then we played the American duo Shane Van Boning and Rodney Morris in the semis, and able to beat them. And then we're playing against these upstart, like very talented Polish couple, and we came out ahead, but it was a very tight race. I think it was 11-9 or 10, maybe 10-8.
Yeah, but it was a good win.
It was crazy. It was so epic.
Yeah, no, because you went through the toughest of the toughest to get to the final.
Yeah, we totally.
And to play Efren and Bustamante at home, that ain't easy.
That was, after that match, even Makkonen was like celebrity in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Because everybody was watching that match.
Yeah, everybody was watching.
It's
That's why I
epic.
didn't go there, because I think my wife was there with her friends, but there was just no space. There was nowhere to go. You couldn't see anything. Anyway, can you show your Hall of Fame ring before we round up? We're 50 minutes.
Okay.
So people believe me that you're in the Hall of Fame. There we go. A little bit. Yeah, there. Perfect. Never lose that one unless you lose it in my house.
Okay.
Okay, Mika, should we round up? We're 54 minutes. It's been a great nearly 1 hour to talk to you. I mean, we talk all the time, but I think my viewers will enjoy it, to talk to a Hall of Fame superstar. In my eyes, you're a superstar, but I know we're friends.
Thank you. I just want to give a shout out to all my fans, and hopefully you can gain a fan or two from this session, but who knows?
Sweden.
And to operate with you all along, and including this session. But I want to also say thank you to my sponsors, Mez Q's and
mention them, please.
Yeah, and Town Billiards, which they are producers of the tips that you put on on the playing cues, but also like break and jump tips. And we have a new chalk, which has been like quite revolutionary. And it's called the Pyro. So it's like a new chalk that basically gets rid of the kick shots, like the bad contacts. So it's been quite a great journey with them, and I think we're going to go do some things in the future in the industry. So
I look forward to see you soon in real life. It's been a horrible last year, but what can we do? We just have to live with it. We'll make it up when we meet.
We have to just keep marching forward.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right.
See you soon.
I'll talk to you. Well, I'll probably talk to you tomorrow again, but that's on private.
Tell Ravenna I said hello and all.
I will. Erica's still not back. I wanted her to say hi, but she went to buy sushi, I think.
That's cool. Well, tell her I said hello, and
yeah, you can text her. She can text you, so you have each other's number.
Yeah, cool. But anyway, so
we see you here. I see you in Sweden, or I see you in the US. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the
hopefully
lockdown.
All
the best, and thank you, bartender.
Thank you. I would, hopefully we can get some Finnish fans here watching this, but
I'll send it. I actually have a lot of followers in Finland, but they speak Swedish, so
the Finnish flag on your sleeve. So can you show us the flag on the there we go.
Of course, proudly. I'm 25% Finnish. You know that.
I know that. And then there's the coat of arms.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
All right. Have a good time. Thank you very much, Mika. Cheers.
So, ha det bra.